What up, gang? It's your boy ZaZa, man. We back with another banger. And today, I really want to clear up some confusion that I may have caused. I'll take responsibility. I do use the term landrace loosely. So, and I see some people in the comments have some things to say. So I want to really break down the differences between landraces and wild type strains because they're not the same. Let's get right into it. Get it!
Like, comment, share, subscribe, you heard me?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, internet mask ID agenda noticed. Tracking mask ID fucking agenda. More mask agenda.
Strains that remain within their natural state and they haven't been affected by human population interference, right? They just grown naturally. They were born there. They've always been there. And
they were born there. They've always been there. Were you around all this time ago? How? Tell me, ZaZa. Tell me how you fucking know that they've always been there. What does he say? By the way, fucking subtitle agenda also noted.
They haven't been affected by
green also noted.
Human population interference.
You know the dreadlock thing didn't start in Jamaica. Dreadlocks didn't come from Jamaica originally.
That's right. They just grown naturally.
They just grew naturally. They were born there. They just arrived out of nowhere. Just arrived out of nowhere.
Born there. They've always been there, and
they've always been there.
Always will be there.
And they'll always be there. These land races, right? So how is it that the plants descended from these land races have been removed from the fucking sales worldwide and everything's like 25-30% weaker than it used to be? What happened to all these old strains then? How can these land strains surviving in the wild that you're talking about, they just arrived there by themselves, how come they still exist, and these ones that were carefully maintained by seed companies, suddenly they're not available anymore? Can you explain that?
With wild type strains, there's no human intervention.
How do you know? Were you there? When these landrace strains first appeared, like you said, they were just born. What, was it a virgin birth? Did they come from Maria? Did they come from Maria?
There's no...
They just got born. They just came from nowhere. They just emerged out of the fucking blackness. They just arrived.
Domestication. They really are not meant for people or humans to bother with, right?
Yeah. You've got to make them into an F1, haven't you, like you say? You've got to breed from F1 genetics, haven't you? Listen to me, ZaZa. Right. Is 4 a higher number than 1? Now, they talk about evolution, even though we're in a revolution, but that's because we've been trapped in a revolution. But true evolution, people, who slipped the net, who slipped the G-net, slipped the big green G-net during the war, the parents did, just managed to slip one in there. Boom. F4, hybrid, winged wolf. A fucking dog with big wings. Shall I tell you something about F1 genetics? Right. It's true to say that if you're looking for like a particular trait, right, a really strong trait, like someone particularly, like for example in humans, someone like that strongest man guy, or someone highly intelligent, you know, let's just quote, just for instance, say someone like Stephen Fry, yeah? You're looking for that trait, whichever. You're most likely to find those traits at the greatest fucking, what's the word? The greatest, like, concentration, if you like, within a selection of F1 hybrids. You are. But also within them F1 hybrids, when you just find these 1 or 2 that you like, there'll be loads of mutations, yeah, which everyone has found who's ever grown plants from F1 seeds, that you'll get dwarfs, yeah, and you'll get these skinny horrible things and these things that just don't yield and don't do well, and some of them just keel over and die, yeah, and that's why we have all these hospitals and places for things like that. And all these people, they all seem to be able to afford private healthcare and come from top families and shit, don't they? Do you want to have a chat about this with me? Like, actually properly talk about it, and then you can explain to me how you know that all the land races just arrived there by themselves in some magical fucking cloud or something. MC33. Do you get me? And by the way, some of the best strains ever known in this country and other countries, yeah, came from S1s and just rare finds. And some of them were crosses that people did at home. But they're very much against this now, aren't they? And they want people like you to push crap genetics on people so they don't do it at home for themselves. And they want to call you pollen chuckers, don't they? Anyone who tries to do it who's not in your fucking book of approved people. Yeah?
What up, gang? Today we understand what a pollen chucker is, how to avoid pollen chuckers at all costs.
Well, you did a video about seed banks earlier on, right, that I watched. This one. And there was one, it says top 5. Right? Well, all it is really is the ones he's been told to plug and paid to plug and advertise. Like, how can you do a top 5 and not mention Sensi Seed? Man, I know they're not what they used to be, but they are legendary in the game, aren't they? You can't have that in your top 5. Yeah, I noticed that Soma was in there. Yeah. Now, Soma's been around for a long time, but if he's in your top 5 with all these other numpties that you've mentioned, how long have they been in business for, these people? Since you stopped talking about growing with HPS? Now, since the LED times, is that when they just suddenly turned up? Did they breed autos? Do they? Let's talk about this, yeah? Let's talk about these land races that just appear out of nowhere, just by themselves, out the ether. And then you can prove it all to me with facts. And we can talk about F4 hybridization. And now you need to go past F4 to create an F1 in the first place. We could talk about all this shit and the hermaphrodite shit, if you like. I'll do a live chat on your fucking thing. Get Pigeons 420 and all your other fucking mates and your little gang pushing Infinity fucking AC shit and Mars Hydro with the Mar and the water. In a bit. If you think you're smart enough, come and talk to me.